Morning, everybody. 8:10 a.m. August 20th. How's everybody doing today? Welcome to my channel. Had a nice another leg up higher yesterday in markets. These markets are nuts, insane. No resistance can hold it back. It's low volume, and we're low volume just pushing the market higher. Nvidia is the story. Earnings August 28th. Okay. Yesterday, I said I expected Nvidia to tap 130 large gamma level. It did. All right, so it won at 130. It got it, and markets just keep on trucking, boy. That Japan carry trade, it's almost like, did that even happen? Right? Crazy, 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 crazy. All right. So without further ado, let's get into this. Welcome to my channel. My name is Steven Gonzalez. I use market profile and volume profile to find structure in these markets along with gamma, exposure levels, supply and demand, the most traded price of the year, the month, the week, the previous day. That's my edge. It's how I find structure in these markets. Okay. And then once the market opens, of course, that's where I trade and I put risk on, right? So my plan that I do in the morning here then goes to a new plan with new information when the market opens. Okay, and you can check those out on my shorts, my reels on TikTok, on Twitter or X, on YouTube, okay, on Instagram, which doesn't get many views, but TikTok. You can check out why and what I saw to give me confidence to take the trade. Okay, that's what we do here. Now, if it's your first time here, welcome. Every day I do this, 8:10 a.m. All right. Have a cup of coffee. Have a cup of tea. All right, and then sit back. Let me give you the summary of yesterday. Let me give you the morning news. Let me give you why stocks are moving, why stocks are leading and lagging. All right, we go over economic calendar, earnings, upgrades, downgrades, daily charts. All right, and then the main event at 8:30 happens when I analyze the Nasdaq and the ES futures. All right, that gives me my game plan to trade SPX, SPY futures, ES futures, Nasdaq futures, right? QQQ, SPY options, NDX, SPX, doesn't matter, whatever vehicle I choose, and that's what we do here. Okay, I gotta do long and short scenarios, and that's the game plan. All right, that's the game plan. And what I'm gonna start to do is I think I'm gonna start to do. I don't know if I'll do it every day, but I'm gonna start putting it out there. If there's a stock somebody wants me to analyze, okay, and at the end of the stream, I'll do a deep down analyzation. I don't even know that's the word, um, of that stock. All right, and what I would do would be obviously a top down approach, monthly, weeklies, dailies, but then when we throw in volume profile in there, trend lines, right? Support and resistance, gamma levels, anchored VWAPs, you name it, we would drill down into that stock. Okay? And maybe whoever's listening right now, you could throw one out for today in chat, and maybe we go over that if we have enough time. Okay? So, hopefully you could join me. All right? And what would that be? Subscribing to my channel. I want to push this thing to 200K, 200 subscribers. Okay? And if you enjoy my content, please smash that like button. All right, thumbs up. You can always follow me on X. That's at Gonzo719. All right, and you can follow me on TikTok. That's Gonzo719Trader. Gonzo719Trader. All right. Now, why don't we get right into the futures watch list and see what we got going on here? Okay. And look at our little Bitcoin. Our Bitcoin is up 2.87%. The VIX second here. The VIX is up 2.25%. Silver's up 1.93. Ether's up 1.8. Gold, I'm loving it, up 0.91. Crude, it might be the bottom of crude. All right, it was selling off hard and it's coming back, but there was some geopolitical things happening this morning. All right, but it's at some key levels, so very interested in crude. All right, Russell's up 0.13, ES up 0.09, Nasdaq's up 0.09. Here's our 10-year yield is pretty much flat. The Dow is pretty much flat, but it's down 0.04. Dollar's down 0.09. 30-year bonds slightly down, only down 0.10. Okay. Now remember this week we got Fed speak this week. The volume is horrible. Wednesday we have Jackson Hole and FOMC minutes at 2 p.m. That's tomorrow. Today we had Fed Bostic and Fed Bar. We'll get into that in a little bit. All right, let's move over to the Mag 7 Plus and Coinbase. Coinbase getting love with Bitcoin. AMD, I'm loving that. I'm loving that. Your boy nibbled on AMD on that big drop down with that Japan unwind carry trade, right? Yeah, they're moving good now, and they got an upgrade this morning. All right. Now, Tesla got some news too about Tesla. Why they're up? They're up 1.41%. Google loving it. Threw an option straight on there yesterday, hoping that continues to move. That was a little laggard of the ones not moving, but guess what? That little bearish news is that's all it was, and it's just going to keep going. Okay. Snowflake up 0.37. All right, now let's go to laggards. Broadcom's down barely, down 0.13. JP Morgan I saw got a downgrade, down 0.22. Nvidia went up to 130. It's down 0.32. I don't think that's going to stop anything. And Boeing had some negative news. Okay, Boeing had some negative news. We'll talk about it. All right, moving on. Top sector stocks. Let's do it. Who's leading the pack? Eli Lilly. They just had a drug that said it doesn't give you diabetes or something like that. Well, Eli Lilly's a monster. Up 2.12. 2.12. Okay. Johnson & Johnson also had some new drug, and they're acquiring this new company called V-Wave. So that is good for them. Let's see, UPS down 0.16, Uber's down 0.19, PepsiCo down 0.19, and Home Depot is down 0.29 in sympathy with Lowe's reported earnings. In sympathy with Lowe's, okay? Let's go to our swing trade list. Who's up here? We're probably going to have a bunch of Bitcoin related stuff. We do. MicroStrategy up 3.32, Riot up 2.98, the Bitcoin ETF up 2.89, Mara's up 2.8. Here's the typical guys. Palo Alto reported earnings yesterday. They were good. They're up 2.08%. CrowdStrike, possibly in sympathy with that, up 1.28. Abercrombie and Fitch, look at that, up almost 1%. Gold junior miners up 0.9. PayPal got an upgrade. All right, gold's up 0.76. That's enough of that. Let's go to laggards. Who's lagging here? Viking Therapeutics down 3.95. Paramount Global. Looks like there's some news about that too. Tandem Diabetes down 2.65. Baba's down 1.88. Bank of America's down 1.16. Donald Trump down 1.4. That's about rounds up that. All right. All right. Let's go to the guts, the sectors, all right? That's what moves the markets. That's what moves the markets, all right? Discretionary, reading the pack. That's your Tesla, that's your Amazon, okay? Up 0.18. Healthcare is up 0.14. Technology is up 0.04. And then we got a bunch of like nothings. And financials is down slightly just because of JP Morgan. All right, now that wraps up the watch lists. We can get right into the economic calendar. Some news. Boom. We already talked about this a little bit, but let's just put it up here. All right, today, Fed Bostic speaks at 1:35, Fed Bar 2:45. Then you got API crude at 4:30. All right, FOMC minutes tomorrow. That's all we got to talk about there. Now, let's go to juice. I don't think the juice had much for me today. They didn't. Let's go to upgrades, downgrades. Let's refresh this. It's not showing me the upgraded AMD. Let me make sure. Let me make sure if that was an upgrade or a price target change. I just want to make sure that I'm getting you guys the right information here. All right, let's go to upgrades. Upgrades, nothing there. But let me just go here. I think there was an upgrade here in AMD or price target raise. Let's refresh this guy. Oh, there it was. There it was. It was coverage initiated AMD at a buy. Okay, that's what it was. All right, let's go back here. There's nothing really to talk about upgrades. Downgrades, we got really nothing to talk about there either. All right, initiations. There's the AMD initiations. All right, so it was there. AMD initiated from Edward Jones at a buy. Okay, now we go price target changes. And we go to buy raises. Palo Alto got a bunch of target raises. Target raise, all over the place. Target raise. We're not going to go into each one. All right, target raise. What else? Chewy, target raised. All right, that's about it. All right, Snowflake. Just people just hating on Snowflake here. Target lowered to 165. All right, who else? They lowered a target lowered, and that's about it. All right, for the upgrades, downgrades, that's about it. That's all we're going to talk about. Here we got some news. Let's see. Palo Alto stock gained 2.5% after the company forecast fiscal 2025 revenue and profit above estimates. All right, Lowe's stock fell 0.9 after the home improvement retailer lowered its annual profit. All right, Tesla stock rose 0.7 after the European Commission cut its proposed tariff on imports of the EV manufacturer cars built in China. So that's why Tesla's moving up. Okay, Medtronic stock rose 0.5 after the medical device maker slightly lifted the lower end of its annual profit forecast. Here's a negative for Boeing. Stock fell 1% after the plane manufacturer grounded its 777X test fleet. Coinbase, we know it's up because of Bitcoin. Morgan Stanley stock fell 0.6 after Reuters reported that Morgan Stanley International Chairman Jonathan Bloomer was aboard a luxury yacht that sank off the coast of Sicily. XPeng stock rose 1.7% after the Chinese EV manufacturer reported a 60% jump in revenue. All right, let's go to more news here. Like I said, here's the Paramount Global news. Edgar Bronfman submits roughly 4.3 billion rival bid for Paramount Global. All right. Alaska Airlines Hawaiian merger clears U.S. Department of Justice review. Like I said, I'm gonna only if I didn't talk about it and it's new, I don't know about it. I'm only gonna talk about it. Uh, yeah, that's about it. I think we're done with that. I think we're done with that. Now, if we go to earnings here, what do we got today? So yesterday's close was Palo Alto. Really, this morning was Lowe's, Medtronic, Workhorse, okay, XPeng, okay, and today after the close, Toll Brothers, Lazy Boy, Cody. All right, and then tomorrow before the open, you got a bunch of retail: Target, Macy's, TJ Maxx. Okay, that's what we got. All right, I think that wraps up that stuff. I think we can get into the daily charts. All right. Boom, boom. There's our dailies. There's our dailies, folks. Let's talk about them, all right? Monster move. Jeez, look at this friggin' thing, huh? This is friggin' nuts. Look at that. Boom, 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 boom. Gap up. Consolidate for a little bit of 2 days. Rip up all the way up to here around almost 560. Crazy. All time highs is 565. This is nuts. Okay? All you needed was Japan to say, we're not raising rates no more. We got you. That Japan carriage is like back on. It's freaking crazy. Okay? All time highs are in sight. Look, Here's last week, 555. We're above last week's range. Okay? Unbelievable. Now, a couple things to understand about this market. Okay? A couple things to understand. Japan carry trade. Japan said we're not raising rates no more. Right? So check for bullish movement. Right? Check for bullish movement. What's the other story we have? Nvidia. Bottom out around 89. And we got earnings coming up. Right? And then AI kind of was like, whoa, AI is back. Right? AI is not dead. And then one other thing. Okay, once earnings are done, companies have a blackout period for stock buybacks. Okay, once their earnings report, they can buy back. They can repurchase their own shares. Okay, and when this thing dips down, you don't think they don't want to repurchase their shares at low prices? Now, one important thing to note: we have an election coming up in November. Okay, in November. Here's the date you have to write down. September 5th is the blackout period for stock buybacks. September 5th. So nobody's going to be allowed to do stock buybacks. Now you have an election coming. That's indecision. We don't know who's going to win. There could be some de-risking in September, October leading into the election. This is not a prediction. This is just what would possibly make sense. Okay? Just throwing that out there. Now, where are we at now? Oh, we're at 559.80. Let's call 85. 559.85. Oh, we're like gapping up. Tiny little baby gap up. All right, tiny little baby gap up. Let's look at the future. The futures. There we go, right up here. You can see yesterday's range, right? Just insane, insane move. It's crazy. Nuts. Crazy. Okay? Moving on to the Qs. Look at those Qs. You broke the downtrend line. Boom. We get rid of it. We have this uptrend line that's, woo, look at that. Look at that. Yesterday, notice that? Look, opened up, pulled down to the 50-day moving average in this trend line and rocket. Now, in the Qs, if you look across, you had resistance here. Back from this consolidation here. And then you had resistance here. And that just got launched. Okay? Launched. Now, we are 481.55. 41.55. We're right about the... Yeah, we're right up there at the highs of yesterday. Okay? Look at the live looking futures. Here we are, right here. Got some little wick right here. All right? A little wick here. All right. But we had some nice resistance to break out of in the Qs yesterday and the Nasdaq. Okay. Now we are going to do triple headed. All right. Triple headed monster. Now actually, I wanted to talk about something here. I actually did have a beautiful long yesterday. I think it was like a 203% return or whatever on SPY. I took it at like 556 and rode it all the way up to like 558.50, I believe. And then I got stopped out just barely and then it ran up into the close. But beautiful trade. Beautiful trade. Can't complain about it. I'm going to do a reel on that either today, the next coming days. I will complete a reel and you can see exactly why I took it. All right. Part of the plan in the morning did work out. So just wanted to let you guys know that. Now we're going to get right into triple-headed monster. We got our 10-year. We got a dollar. We got our VIX. Let's check out the 10-year futures right here. All right. We got yields are down 0.21%. Okay. We're just hanging out here. We got to probably wait for what Powell's going to say. And then we got FOMC in September. I believe it's September 8th. I could be wrong about that date, but September 8th rings true in my head for some reason. Okay. So this is triple headed. Let's talk about it. Let's go to that dollar. Let's go to that dollar. Let's try that again. I'm hitting all these freaking keys here. All right. Dollar. Ooh, look at that dollar falling apart. That dollar is falling apart. Okay. Now that's like twofold here. Usually when you get a weak dollar, all right, when you get a weak dollar like that, that's usually good for equities and commodities, okay? Makes things cheaper, especially, for stuff we export, okay? However, when it's that weak, it almost could be looked at as devaluing the dollar, which in really is not great. This is why gold is rising and silver is rising, okay? So then that could only mean a couple things, right? Now, we always talk about this. I tell you about this. The euro is the largest, 57.6% weighting against the dollar. That should be going up. Look at that. There's the euro. Euro's rising. Okay. Let's look at that little yen. Our little Japanese yen. What is that doing? That is rising a little bit. Now this starts to rise. Okay. Remember, the carry trade unwinding was happening here. Boom, 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 boom. Pull back. Everybody relaxed. If this starts to rip back up again, oh boy, because that thing didn't unwind all the way. We got to keep this on watch. The yen, keep it on watch. All right, now go to the VIX, the third head of that monster. We are at a 15 VIX. Not bad, not bad, but the volume's garbage. The volume has been garbage. Okay, so that is your triple headed. All right, right in time for the main event. We go right to the main event, and what is that? ES and NASDAQ market profile, volume profile analysis. All right, market profile and volume profile analysis. Think I'm going to say it again? I'm not. Here we go. Here we go. Boom. All right. Now, for the one or two or three or four people that are watching, is anybody confused by market profile, volume profile? Because I know it looks nuts. So I just want to make sure, because I know there's some loyal followers here that probably do understand it, and every time I talk about it, it makes sense. But like sometimes you look at this and go, what is that? That's not a candlestick. Now again, I don't know who's watching. If you have a question, put it in the chat. All right. If not, I'm going to continue what we're doing here. Let me get my trusty marker out here. We're going to look at structure like we always do. We always talk about structure. Okay? We always talk about structure. Now, the first thing I'm going to tell you about is, what did I talk about yesterday, right? It was all about this most traded price of the week. Right here. Notice what happened, right? We opened here. We pulled back. That was supportive. And then we just chugged along. So, saw this. I was like, beautiful, 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 right? Waited for my time to strike. I struck on the first nice liquidation break, and I'll go into that in my reel about liquidation breaks. All right, not if everybody knows what that is, or knows what it means, or why it's important. Okay. Now, let's look at our structure. Let's look at our volume profile. Okay. Now this is looking kind of balanced here. So let's see. We got excess down here. Then we got our value area. What is value area? 70% of the trade of the last week, and then we're getting some excess up here. So that's a bell curve. Um, we're in supply. Now, if it wasn't nuts, this market, I'd be like, okay, might be time to rest a little bit because this is a very balanced profile. It might be time to take a little rest, a little nap. But this market's nuts. But I would say maybe we take a little nap today. We take a little rest, right? Now, as far as our levels go, most traded price of the week, 55.68, right there. Price is here. We're above it. Most traded price, very bullish, was of yesterday. Balance for the rolling week, G-Man. Now, I'm not saying we're in balance. Okay, I want to clarify that to make sure you understand that. It's just that the rolling profile, okay, the whole genesis. So I'll give you one thing to just understand it. I think you do understand it, but I'll give you one thing, okay? Everything in life is a bell curve. All right? And when you have a complete bell curve, okay, which looks like this, excess to the bottom, you got value, and then you get excess to the top. Okay? Everything that you do a survey or whatever, you'll have, they usually call it, what I think it's 68.3% is this, which I call 70% is value, and then you have tails. Okay? So usually when you have something like this, it means that the move is completed. Okay? And what the market needs to do now, okay, is we have value here. That's the most traded price of the week. Price is here, right? But if anybody knows I've been talking about is the job of the market now, okay, is can price up here pull value up? Can it make this the most traded price of the week? Right? If it can't, just like a rubber band, it's getting stretched. It's going to go back to value. That's not bearish. Okay? Does that make sense, G-Man? I'm pretty sure you understand it probably just because you've been watching me for a little bit. But that's what I'm saying. Okay? It doesn't mean we're in balance. Like we're not like in balance like this. But the profile is complete. Okay? Profile is complete. But this market is nuts. We did hit supply. So let's see. Okay? I only trade what I see. So it's like, I talk in probabilities. But like I'm gonna still trade what I see, so but that's the structure, right? We're talking about structure. So look, here's yesterday's highs. All right. Here's yesterday's lows. Here's the overnight low. Here's the overnight high. Look at this little baby session. Very, 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 very balanced. Not a lot of edge there. Most traded price of the overnight right at yesterday's highs. Okay. Now, this is very bullish right here. This is the most traded price of yesterday, and price is right above it. So, this is what I'm talking about, right? Forget about anything else when we talk about structure. The market is telling you it's accepting higher prices. We're at the above the most traded price of yesterday, holding it. Okay, the most trades were put on in the ES right here yesterday, and right here. Okay, so that's going to be a key level for us today. 56.25. That happens to be the close. Happens to be the overnight low, and it happens to be the most traded price of yesterday. Okay, so bulls got to defend that. All right, now you do have a demand zone right underneath it. So I'm thinking, all right, do a little correction in here, and possibly you can move up. Okay, so that's the level to look at, 56.25. Okay, that's a little baby line in the sand. It doesn't change the macro theme, but we're talking like day trading. Okay, we're talking day trading. Now, Levels to look at. We got our 56.25. What's the next one? 56.02. What is that? That is the midpoint of yesterday, the 50% retracement of yesterday's move. So this area in here, bulls just need to defend it. Okay, it's not bearish if it comes in here. Bulls need to defend it. Okay, that happens to be the POC too. Okay, there's a V POC. That's this. That's yesterday's volume point of control. Then there's the POC. The POC is the market profiles point of control. And all that means is that's the most time was spent at this price, 56.02. So there's a VPOC and a POC, right? So market profile works on time. So if we split out, oh boy, what the heck did I do? If we split out this profile, just to show you guys, like this, right? See the POC, this red line right here, it only goes by time. So how many times you cross that, it becomes the POC. Okay. So they're both important. They're both important. That's the most time spent down here. That's the most volume up here. Okay. Very important levels. So we got our levels. Okay. We got our levels. Now I think we're ready for some scenarios. What do you think? I think we're ready for them. Let's get into the scenarios. All right. All right. We're going to go with the bull. Now, there's a pretty big area where bulls can step up here. Pretty big. All right. And the momentum is so much with them. All right. So remember, immediate defense is this most traded price of yesterday, 56.25. Immediate defense. So we can see a push up, whatever here into supply, come back and see what the market does. If it holds it, you can probably push higher, possibly to the end of this supply zone. Where is that? Where is that end of the supply zone? It is 56.64. Okay, 56.64. Now, if you lose that, okay, you're probably going to cause a corrective pullback. Okay, so I could see it coming up. You come through the most traded price of the overnight and yesterday's most traded price. There's going to be longs there that liquidate, and they're going to come into this demand zone. All right, now in this demand zone, I'm going to give it some leeway here. You also got a week to day anchored VWAP right here. You also got the POC in the midpoint here. So I'm going to give this some wiggle room all the way down to the week to day VWAP and the midpoint in the POC. What does it do here? Right? Like I said, it could just bounce right out of this demand. This is the last line that I'm going to be like, okay, what does it do here? All right, so this could just boom, 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 and we can move higher. That's all I'm interested in. Okay? It's really all I'm interested in. Now, we do have demand here, okay, where the breakout kind of happened. I really want to see this thing hold here, okay? And this low volume garbage, you really got to pick your spots with this, okay? Now, short side, okay, which is not getting a lot of love, all right? I'm almost like strictly being long lately. I'm just looking for longs because that's what you want to go with, okay? Momentum's on the longs. So yes, there's shorts, but that's a very hard road for be a short right now. Okay, very, very hard road. Now there is one thing here, but it's not important. We are 100% net long in the overnight, but we're in the middle of the range. It's really not an edge. Okay, really not an edge. So we are in supply though. Okay, we are in supply. So I'm going to reverse engineer this for the short. I'm sure you guys can see what I'm going to do here. All right, so supply is all the way up here. That's supply right now. We went in there, getting a little selling. Okay, so if I'm a bear, what do I want to see? Now I could see us tagging this overnight high. 97% of the time you tag an overnight high or an overnight low. I could see you tagging that. And let's see what happens here. Let's see if you go through the most traded price of the overnight. I would think you correct to at least here. Okay. And what you really want to see, to be honest with you, is some kind of take out this demand and pop up and hold under this price and you possibly can get a nice move down into this demand level. Now, what did I say about if price can't bring value up with it? It's going to return to value. We could get the move down to 5568, the most traded price of the week. Okay. Now again, because I have to put it in there, if you break that and hold, oh boy, you're going to go down. You're going to go down at least to the top of this gap. That's around 55.26. And then you just got, we got below here. All right. What do we have here? This is the elephant. That's the elephant. And we got the toothpick. All right. So let's go to that. Let's give everybody Elfie. All right. This has not mattered yet. It could still matter. And I have a feeling it's going to matter. Okay. There's going to be something that where we revisit those singles. Okay. Don't know if it happens, right? I'm just giving scenarios. That is the short scenario. Okay. That's the tough road for the shorts, though. All right. We got to say that. Tough road for the shorts. All right. Let's move on to NASDAQ. NASDAQ is different yesterday. It had different structure. You're going to notice single prints. It had a lot of single prints yesterday on that move up. Now, what did it do yesterday? Now, yesterday, it had big resistance. Talked about this pre-market with you guys. And it's part of the reason why I went long in the SPY. Look at all those shorts in here. And you had a big gap right here, all the way up to here. So it filled the gap all the way up to here. Still has a little piece left. Beautiful move. Okay. Beautiful. Now, in the NASDAQ, let's look at the profile. What do you think, G-Man? What do you think of that profile, if you're there? If you're not there, that's fine. It's a completed profile. Yep. Now, who knows? Okay? Who knows? Right? Price is here at the bottom of the overnight session. Most traded price of the week and the most traded price. Now, this is very important. Okay? Notice the difference in the NASDAQ. The most traded price of yesterday was all the way down here at the open. Up here was thinny thin. Not like the ES. ES had the most trades happen at the highs. This did not. This had single prints. Okay. So what do we got here? Here's our toothpick. There's our elephant. All right. There's Elfie again in the mix. Poor structure on this move up. Okay. Poor structure. Now, most traded price of the week, 195.80 right here. So again, NASDAQ has to build value out here. If it can't, and price does not move value, if value doesn't follow price, price returns the value. Okay? Price returns the value. Now, I'm not saying that's going to happen. I'm just saying if it can't, it will return. That's how it works. That's how the market works. That's not bearish. That's not bearish. Okay? But there's single prints here. And if people decide to go, all right, I've held on to these longs enough, maybe I'm going to liquidate some positions, whatever, it could return back here. Okay? But in the meantime, I'm telling you the elephant, okay? That doesn't mean I'm telling you I'm bearish. It's just structure we're talking about, right? It's objective. I don't have a horse in this race. However, this right here, this big spike up, what does it tell you? If this spike up is emotional buying and price is up here, what does that tell you? That's bullish. Okay? Market's telling you, oh, we're up here. Oh, we're accepting these prices. We're right at the close. Okay? So structure-wise, we have poor foundation. But this stick right here is telling us, well, right now the market's saying that they're okay with these prices. Okay, we're okay with the price. So I want to make sure I'm not a bias. I'm just telling you I'm actually unbiased. I'm just telling you the structure. Okay. Now, what do we have here? Okay, we have a little bit of a weak low here because we got the close and the overnight lower together. So that 195, 198.50 is very important. Now, right under that, you got single prints and not a lot of volume. Okay, not a lot of volume. So it could be cut, but I don't know. Okay, I don't know. Now, so that's one key level. Now, what's the midpoint yesterday? 196.98. There's our 50% retracement. Start of another single print right here. And the demand zone. Okay? So, we're going to get right into scenarios here. Let's do it. Okay. Start with the bull. All right? Now, I just said this is a weak low. Right here. Bulls need to defend this. Now, what do the bulls need to defend? They need to defend that low down to these single prints. Right here. This box. Okay? Because the flip side to the elephant, okay, is this should not be supportive. If we move in here, this should not be supportive. If it is, if you come down and you do one of these and then do one of these and these, we're going to go back up, fill this gap, hit the overnight highs and go to this naked VPOC around 199.50. Okay? Because this will be a little bear trap. And that's what will happen. Now, what else can happen? Okay? You can take out these single prints. Boom, take them out. Now you got the next single prints to start with. Same thing. You got demand here, 50% retracement. This probably will cause some panic for people thinking, oh, I'm going to short this sucker. And they come into these single prints. You hit demand, you bounce off lower, high, and then you make that move. You grab some liquidity to go higher. That's all I'm interested in the NASDAQ. Okay? Bear. Okay, we have the gap above us. Now, I just said we got the elephant on the stick here, elephant on the toothpick right here. Poor foundation. Okay, now flip it to now if the market's weak. If the market's weak, little bear bull line here. 198.50. Okay? Most traded price is up here. We're already below that. We have thin volume here. Alright? So, what I would like to see is a push up, fill the gap, come back, come through maybe the open, and now if the market is weak, we should clean these single prints. Get maybe a little bit of a bounce, clean these single prints, and then this demand might get a little bounce, but then eventually we could land right back to the most traded price of yesterday and the most traded price of the week. And price will return to value. Okay? Now, we have to talk about it if it happens. You take out this demand and that price and you hold and hold and hold. Whoa, you're going to go down all the way to the top of this gap probably. And you got tons of single prints, more toothpick down here for that elephant to fall. Okay? Like I said, this is just a scenario. I don't know what's going to happen. Okay? But if that happens, that will happen. Okay? All right. I think that's it, folks. We're done. We are done. Finito. All right? That is the plan today. Now, like I said, this volume has been garbage. So, just to show you that volume, the garbage volume, it's even worse today. Jeez. I mean, people are like on the beach. Big banks, institutions, they're not even, the algos are going, but let's look at this relative volume real quickly. 36%. 39%. Yeah. So P-shaped is. Hold on, G-Man. I'm reading your. Oh, big order. Big. Oh. Let's see. So P-shaped is bullish if the weak low holds. Otherwise, it will test the single and bullish if those hold and goes higher. Yes. Otherwise, it will test the single prints and bullish if those hold. Yes. You got it. You nailed it. Now that takes um a little while to get used to. What the hell's going on here? Sorry, I'm just looking at my charts here. I don't know why I'm getting thrown. I don't know why this is. That is weird. Okay. Anyway, um, yeah, I wouldn't call it that, G-man. That's not about the. That's not about the overall rolling profile. That's not how to look at that. That would just be the poor structure underneath. So we got our plan. I gotta fix something in my charts here because that's not working out too good. We have to. We have our plan. Sorry, and hope G-man. I hope I answered your questions. And we got to be patient. Now, what I was gonna say about the stuff that G-man's asking me about, you can understand that, right? It's very hard to actually like believe it and to trade it because a lot of times, like yesterday, I'm going long when everybody thinks the market's gonna fall. So it takes a lot of moxie or a lot of like in your brain to go, I know that's selling off, but that's that's the hardest thing I think because price action and structure, like structure usually wins. So, the internals win. So your brain has to like shut off, you know, what you see and go selling, selling, big selling, and then to be like, well, I'm bullish now. And that's what I did yesterday. You'll see in my when I do the reel that I wanted a liquidation break. That was my plan. I wanted to see the market fall, which in the past I would have been like scared to see that fall and me go long. What the hell am I doing? That's the stupidest thing I would ever do, right? But that's what I'm kind of talking about. That's when I say, hey, single prints, because when they go in those single prints, okay, it's going to look like, oh, shit, this is going to fall. It's going to look like that. Trust me, it's going to look like that. And you're going to be like, what the hell is this guy talking about? And then what happens is an excess gets put in and whips up. And then it's like, oh boy, what's going on here? And then reverses, boom. And there's a reason for that, okay? There's a reason for that. And it's very hard to look at it in real time and go, I'm going long, okay? It's very hard. I do it now, but it's not easy. It's okay, it's not easy. Now it's more easy for me because I'm confident. When I see it, it's like, come to daddy. For me now, it's literally like, good, you just did what I wanted. Instead of being like, oh my God, oh my God, am I going to go long? Right? It's two different mindsets. Right? So I just wanted to impart that on you guys. Um, Trust me, the journey of trading is the hardest thing I've ever done in my life. So I'm speaking from experience. I'm not always was always getting 200% winners consistently like I am now. Like it's a whole process. Okay, it's a hard one, and those are the one of the hard ones, right? Going long when everybody thinks short. Going short when everybody wants to go long. That kind of stuff, right? And then also the other part is not having a system, right? Not knowing when to take profits, not knowing how you're going to execute. That's a whole nother thing, right? Because if you don't have a system that you do, or how you follow rules, right? And you're kind of like freestyling, you're off the hip. When you freestyle off the hip, you're constantly second guessing what you did. Oh, I should have not took it off there, and then the next time you do that, it doesn't work. But then you're like, see, I should have did the other way, right? And then it's just like you get this like it's almost like this rolling ball, like this avalanche that just you don't get confidence. You always second guess yourself, right? So sorry, went off on a little tangent. It's just trading's hard. Okay, so we got our plans today. All right, I know we went off. I talked a little bit of trading journey. Um, and the bottom line is what I want is you guys to just subscribe, whoever's there, set an alert. I'm sure G-Man is subscribed, but set an alert, okay? And please give me a thumbs up or a like. All right, that's much appreciated. You could always follow me on X at Gonzo719, and you could always follow me on TikTok, and that's Gonzo719Trader. Okay, now trust me, the reels are gonna go out. Go there, look at my trades. You can see the day trades. Okay, you can see what I'm looking at. Okay, do me a favor, go watch those. Okay, now that's it, everybody. I took enough of your time today. So good luck today, and stay green. And I'll see you guys tomorrow.